Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 57 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. Hooray! Today, a couple tasks I'd like to accomplish around the base. Number one, so I spent the evening collecting soul vials. So we've got soul vials of skeletons and creepers and witches and endermen and zombies and spiders. Oh my. They're all going into my aversion obelisk. Hooray! Which is going to be turned back on. And is currently using, I don't know how much RF, 720 RF a tick to run, which, you know, based on our current power generation, we're okay. I also turned off my quarry for the time being, because if you look in here, you'll see that we have a lot of ores. Lots of ores. We're doing actually pretty good in resource-wise, so I figured it was probably a good time to turn things off. I mean, we've got 15,000 copper, 10,000 redstone, 13,000 iron. We're doing all right. For now, right? I mean, we got the draconium dust. We didn't get much draconium from our quarry, but we have that dimension, so we're cool. Same for dimensional shards. Yellorium, we're sitting right around 1,000. Right about 1,074. Not too bad. So, the ore processing system we set up last episode, running beautifully, doing everything it's supposed to be doing. This thing did its job. You can see we have a steady supply of dark steel balls, 64 at all times, being kept in the system, which is pretty cool. Today, I'd like to do a couple things. First thing I'd like to work on is a little tweak to my extreme reactor. Remember, what am I looking for? Redstone reactor port. I need one of these, and I need 4 of you, please. Get to crafting. Remember, a couple episodes back, I said I'm not sure if the redstone comparator feature of these draconic orbs has been ported yet. And I had this guy up here. It doesn't look like it. I have yet to figure out how to get this thing to emit a redstone signal based on the fullness of the orb. So with that in mind, we're going to have to be a little bit smart about how we turn things off, right? Because we don't want things to run. I haven't figured out a full-term solution for that, for all the things. What I did figure out is a solution for this guy. So I'm going to turn off my reactor for a moment. My Yellorium reactor, which is doing such a nice job. And I made an extra reactor redstone port. Because remember, reactor redstone ports have a lot of features to them. Right now, I've got 1 on the back here. I'm going to change that to 2. Now, this might make a mess, so bear with me. Cool, it didn't make that much of a mess. Awesome. So we're going to want 2 redstone ports instead of just 1. Okay? And what I'm going to do now is set one of these, let's say this one, to output a redstone signal based on its energy amount. We're going to say active when below 15%. That sounds like a good number, right? And so now that should be emitting a redstone signal. We can see that by placing a wire on it. And that is an active redstone wire. You are going to be set from signal. We could set this to toggle on pulse, but we want set from signal. Okay, and we're just going to loop it right into there. Boom. That should now turn on the reactor. Yes, you can see the reactor running. Sweet. Now, if I... By the way, you're in balance mode. You should probably be in input mode, right? Because you're getting energy out of this thing. Yeah. You are an energy crystal relay. If I were to clear this link, right, you would build up your internal buffer of 4 million RF, and then this thing would start building up its internal energy buffer. Once we get above 15% full, we should immediately see the reactor turn off. Boom, offline. How cool is that? That's what I wanted to see. So we now have a way to turn off our reactor, which is cool. I think that's pretty neat. Yeah, I like that. That's definitely a good course of action. Now, as soon as we recreate that link, so you connect to here again, your energy is going to start draining, and you can see our reactor's already back on. Like, boom, just immediately turned back on. That's awesome. That's what I wanted to see. I'm pleased with that. I still have yet to clean up my reactor room. It is something I do want this room to look nice and cool and everything. I do want to put more things in it too, because while we are producing a hefty amount of RF a tick, 22,000, that's like right on the border of what we need just to keep things running. in the deep dark quarrying. Even though our quarry is in pretty good shape, I could probably actually, while I'm here, start repairing. I should build an automated system so that when this beheader is fully damaged, it detects that, extracts it, and puts it in the item repair. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, that would be kind of neat. Yeah, we'll see. For now, though, let's get situated with some of the things we're going to work on today. So what's that going to be? Well, we'll have to find out. Incidentally, guys, it's nighttime. You notice anything that's not here? I don't see any bad guys. No Enderman, no creepers, no zombies. Just me and my cows. What's up, cows? Loving it. So guys, one of the resources we're going to need in abundance at some point is going to be quartz. There's several ways to go about getting quartz, obviously. So you can smelt it if you have crushed quartz handy, which you get from quartz or quartz ore, basically. So that's one option. We can alloy smeltery, we can sag mill nether quartz ore. So what we could do is create a dimension of nether quartz ore and either quarry it or just go mine a whole bunch and have it in reserves. You can, let's see what other options are here. Bees. Who wants me to get into bees? Usually not too many people. Let's see. Crusher, World Gen, Dungeon Chests, Mana Infusion. So the Conjuration Catalyst can double quartz for a not terribly large amount of that stuff. Interesting. Let's see. That stuff. So, yeah. Basically, what we're looking at is we could either create a dimension for quartz, or we could start doing a little bit more with Botania and get a decent amount of mana going. And then we could look at potentially doubling our quartz whenever we need it. So, like, we could build some kind of cool system that, you know, you give it a piece of quartz and it'll give you back a certain amount, right? And like a loop system where it's like, you put in one piece and two pieces come out, and then you put one of those pieces in and you get two pieces out of that, and like eventually you build up your reserve. Refined storage, I'd have to see how well it behaves with that. Usually systems like refined storage and applied energistics aren't too happy when the resource you need is a crafting component of the resource you want, because it's like, I need nether quartz, but I don't have any nether quartz to make nether quartz, and it gets confused. But we might be able to come up with a sneaky way to accomplish what we want to do, and that could be fun. So for now, let's focus on getting more Botania stuff, because there's plenty of really cool things at Botania, and it's about time we start looking more into it, because we've only scratched the surface in this series so far of what Botania is capable of. So we're going to want our Lexica Botania, and we're going to want our Wand of the Forest, and let's check in on our mana reserve. So it's been a while since we've even looked at Botania, so I need to take a look at what I've done. So over the course of the last few episodes, let's see. Oh, we've got a Gormalaeus. Now that's interesting because we can use our Beef Wellington to generate mana. We've already got Beef Wellington up and going, which is like an awesome mana generation mechanic. So we could automate the Gormalaeus with Beef Wellington. And we could continue doing our Endoflame thing here as well. So that's kind of cool. Neat. Very neat. We'll probably want to expand this area a little bit. And for that, we might want to clear out some more space. Because at the end of the day, we're looking at a large amount of area that we're going to want to have for Botania. Let's get a scoop real quick from forestry, just because I'm going to want to go take out that beehive that's over here. Not that I have any plans to get into bees currently, but I might. Yeah, I know. Bees are like, hey, I want to attack you, direwolf. I might want to get into Botania, or I might want to get into forestry bees at some point, so if I'm going to break that beehive, I might as well use the scoop. Let's clear out some terrain, shall we? Let's get our builder. Builder block. This should have the clearing space in it, yes? Yes. Shade card void. Nice. I'm also going to want a dimensional transceiver, just to have power temporarily, and the scoop can go away for the time being. Let's clear out some space. So like right here, we'll put our block, and we're gonna void out, You know, I could probably clear out from here. This whole hilltop could probably go. Probably in line with this guy. Right? Let's just flatten out this area back to about here-ish. Does that look cool? I think it looks cool. So show me a visual representation of what you're going to clear. Right? Are you actually going to carve things out of that hilltop? Probably. I might move this forward a little bit because I don't want that actually to happen. Let's bring that forward a few blocks. So you... This way I have some more space to work with as we get into Botania. Can you show me that again, please? That looks better. I don't think we're going to actually break much by way of these things. A couple blocks here, but that's okay. Our version obelisk apparently doesn't reach all the way out here. You, sir, are a fool. Alright, so that's good. We can turn off preview mode. And let's just get ourselves a lever. And you get to work. Nice. I like it. Beautiful. You're done. So you can go away. And what I'll probably do is wand of equal trade some of this stone into dirt, just to make it look nice. Let's take a nap. Dun 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 dun. Just because even though there's no monsters outside, I still like daytime. Let's get ourselves some dirt and a swapping wand. Should do something about all those swords that I have going on. Cool. Builder's wand, maybe? Just to extend out this thing. Nice. Okay, so that's cool. So that's a little bit more space to work with, right? Let's look at automating those Gormalaeses, because that is going to be a really good way to generate lots of mana. So let's rearrange a little bit of what we've got going on here in terms of things. So you guys can stay, mostly because I'm too lazy to move you. So let's see. We will probably want, if this is going to be a large open Botania area, which will eventually all be grass, what I'll probably want to do is my storage and crafting can remain over here, but mana generation we might want to put like right here-ish. So maybe we'll have several mana pools that will represent like a big mana battery, if you will, and then we'll have some crafting mechanics. So we could still have crafting and storage of things over here. I might want to automate production of these flower petal types. That might be cool, and that's totally doable. I might want to move some of these things. So let's automate some parts of Botania that are all manual right now. So a lot of the foundational needs of Botania center around living wood and living rock, right? By the way, remember a few episodes back, I requested a component of storage drawers. I said, wouldn't it be cool if there was a storage drawer upgrade that reduced the amount of storage you could have? Storage downgrade. Reduces base storage to a single stack. Jaquandra listened. How cool is that? I did ping him and be like, hey, dude, this would be neat. So remember I was looking for that when I was doing blood magic? For these things. I was saying, man, it stinks that I have to hold 4 stacks of stuff. It would be great if I could reduce it to 1 stack of stuff. Totally implemented. How cool is that? Very cool is the answer that you're looking for. So I could totally reduce the storage drawer down to 1 stack's worth of items and keep like 1 stack worth of living wood and living rock at all times. Pretty neat. So let's automate that, shall we? Let's definitely automate that. There's a couple ways we can go about automating the Pure Daisy. So here's the deal. The Pure Daisy requires 60 seconds to convert wood and stone. So for example, stone. 60 seconds from the point that you place the stone down for the Pure Daisy to convert. So there's 2 ways we could go about this. One, we can use blocks that can detect what is in front of them and only break the block if it's the item we're looking for. There's an easy way to do this with refined storage, and those of you who've watched my series before have seen that. The other option is to have basically a 60-second timer, so that after the blocks are placed, that timer starts, and then when that timer is up, we can assume that the blocks have been converted to living rock, and then break them all. I'm personally a fan of the detection method, like refined storage's method, because it eliminates any variables or mistakes, right? Like, it's not going to break stone if it hasn't converted into pure living stone yet, right? Living rock. So I'll probably want to go that route. Though, my only hesitation with that, see, there it goes, it's converting now, right? 60 seconds. Check the timestamp on the video. It should have been 60 seconds. So my only hesitation with that is that I've done it many times before, and you guys have seen it before. But I don't think I've done it. I did it actually probably only once or twice before. So maybe we'll do it that way. That doesn't seem like too bad of a way. So what I'll probably want to do, if I'm going to do that, is have a network. So I just came up with a neat-ish idea, I think. Wouldn't it be cool if built inside the walls of this hilltop here, we had a bunch of automated Botania stuff? So like in here could be this guy, my Pure Daisy, right? And that's a weird texture-ish bug. Interesting. And like over here, and I'm just like mishmashing this right now. Like this is not in any way planned out. But like in there, for example, could be a big area where we automate the production of these bad boys, right? And I think that's totally doable, by the way. And we could keep like a stack of each flower type or each petal type at all times. And the same for keeping a stack of living rock and living wood. Wouldn't that be cool? So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to want to do. Why are you being all derpy looking? Don't look derpy. Is that better? Nope. It's the angle that I'm looking at. There must be some thing in my field of view that's making that look funny. But that would be cool for automation of resources, right? And then we could have automation of mana gen, like in this big open flat area, and we could have a couple other things eventually, right? So I think that's a good plan. I like that idea, and I think we're going to implement it. So step one, let's get these guys going. So what I'm going to need to make this a reality is we're going to need destructors times 8 and constructors times 8. We're also going to need networky dudes, which I think I've got a few of. Sweet. So we're going to want a transmitter, a receiver, and a card. The transmitter can go downstairs, as we're familiar with. That's where transmitters go. The receiver, I might just kind of plop into the center of this area, like center-ish, because I'm probably going to want like a, I don't want to call it a basement, but like an underground-ish area. that I can use to kind of run some cabling, right? So we'll have like a hidden underground networky area. That sounds cool, right? Yeah. So if we did that, then what we could have set up is our network receiver over here, let's say. And the network receiver goes into that dude, and we're cool, right? Sweet. And are my crafting requests complete yet? Working on it. Getting there. Few components still left to be made. Almost, though. Cool. So what we're going to need is some stone and some wood. Now, we've got about 1.2k wood. We haven't had this going for a while. That's okay. The other thing I'm going to probably want is... So we'll want to detect how much wood, or living wood or living rock, we have available, right? So a couple ways to go about doing that. Because I wouldn't mind making it fully automated, where I don't even have to think about it, right? Like, as soon as I use some, it's going to make more for me. So that's cool. Let me think about how that should work. All right, so I think I have a solution to what I want to have. It's a little bit crazy-ish, but I think it'll work. So what I'm trying to come up with is a good way to make sure that when I say I want to have X number of whatever, right? Be it living rock, be it living wood, or whatever else in the future here, that everything is kind of taken care of properly. So I am a little bit further than I probably want to be. And I've got a few things that I don't want to have right now. There we go, that's better. That'll do. Now, do I have a drawer controller on this thing? I should get a drawer controller on this thing, is what I should do. Yeah, we should definitely have a drawer controller here. Drawer controller needs a comparator. Right. One of the things we don't have is nether quartz. I was going to say, like, let's just make 64 comparators because we always need them for something. No. So right here, we can pop our drawer controller, right? What if we had an interface? Item interface is pretty much what we want. Let's get our destructors and our constructors. And what we're going to want is to kind of make this an on-demand crafting kind of thing. So what we'll probably want to say is, if you want stone, if you want living rock, you want to put stone in something. And if you want living wood, you want to put stone in something. So to make this work, we're going to put constructors probably on the bottom. I don't think it matters which one is where. Right, so let's say, right, that for now I'm just going to put this stuff around as a temporary, this is what things look like kind of deal. Right, so constructors will go on the bottom here. And destructors will go on the top. And the cool thing about constructors and destructors in refined storage is that they have a whitelist filter. So you can specify what items are allowed to be broken and which items are allowed to be placed, which is really makes this totally doable. So the other thing we're going to want to do is say, we want to have like a, I'm thinking we want this to be like a sub-network, like its own separate setup. So for that, let's get something to power it, aka a wireless RF transmitter, and let's get a controller from refined storage. Refined storage controller, cool. So we're gonna want a machine casing, We are really low on quartz. I literally may need to go mine quartz in the nether. Let's do that. Do I have nether set up here? I do. Like, this is the situation we're at right now, guys. I have to go mining for quartz in the middle of this episode because we're that low on quartz. That's good enough for now, I suspect. We'll find out if I'm right. Now I can get a machine casing and some quartz enriched iron. Cool. And I wouldn't mind an external storage thingy and a chest. Cool. So that all sounds good. So the other thing I'm going to make is an importer and a crafter. Okay. So we're going to teach our main network how to craft living wood and living stone. So do we have any of that, by the way? We have living wood planks, but over here we have... Cool. So I just want to have a few of these. So what we're going to say... I probably should have only grabbed one, but it doesn't really matter. 1 wood equals 1 living wood. And 1 stone equals 1 living stone. Okay. And we're going to come over here, and we're going to have, like, a nifty little subnetwork, right? So we're going to have our controller sitting here with cables going on top and bottom. Here and here, right? So currently there's nowhere for things to be stored. Okay, and we might wind up, you know, covering this up a little bit more than we currently are, but we'll clean this up in a minute. So the other thing we're going to want to do is destructors. We're going to say the things you're allowed to destruct are living wood and living rock. Okay, so we're going to set that for all these. I'm going to put this here just so that it's easier for me, clicking wise. Okay, so you two are what's allowed to be destructed. Okay, and then in terms of constructors, what's allowed to be placed down by the constructors will be these. Constructors only have 1 allowed to be placed, right? So let's do, with that in mind, 4 of you will be stone and 4 of you will be wood, okay? Cool, so 4 stone and 4 wood. Cool. And that sounds good. So then we want an external storage bus on this dude, and we want to have a chest that's going to represent putting things in. And we're going to external storage on this dude. And the other thing we're going to want here is power. And you're going to feed this guy, which will probably use less than 80 RF a tick. Current usage, 17 RS a tick. So the 80 that this supplies, more than enough. Okay, so you're the external storage, right? We're going to put an import bus on this dude. You're going to import out of here into our main network, and you're only allowed to import living wood and living rock. Okay, the other thing you're going to have here, this might be a little over-engineered, but I think it's going to accomplish the goals that we want, are these things. So that now you know how to craft these by putting stone and wood in here, and you're only allowed to extract living wood and living rock. Since this is the only storage part on this network, okay, it can pull out of the chest and it can put into the chest, but it can't store items anywhere else. So when it goes ahead and crafts the living rock and living wood, it's only going to be able to do that. And then we can kind of go to here. Well, run this down here. Nice. Okay. So now let's go upstairs. And if I've done everything right, this should work. Okay. So check it out. If I say that I need... You should be seeing that. You should be seeing that. You should be seeing that, except you're not because there's not a cable there. Nice. Okay. If I did all this right, I should be able to come up here and say that I need living wood, rock. So let's say we need 4, let's say for now 2, right? Living rock. Start, boom. Check it out, okay? And if I need living wood times 2, it places them. Now watch what's going to happen. After a minute, which, by the way, I can speed up with my acceleration wand, just for purposes of demonstration. See, it broke them, and it probably put them in the chest, and then the import bus sucked them in. So if we check inside of our system now, we've got 2 living wood and 2 living rock. How cool is that? Maybe a little over-engineered, but I think that's the best way to do it with what my goal is. And I think that's kind of cool. I mean, there's obviously other ways to go about it, but I wanted on-demand crafting of the living rock and living wood, because I may need that for future reasons. And we've totally got that now, courtesy of our little sub-network that we have over there. So the other thing we're going to want to have probably will be these guys good to go. And I'm just thinking about how this is going to work. So one thing we can maybe do is an export bus, like an exporter, directly onto this guy. And let's make these less than a stack each, because I want to make one of those stack downgrade dudes from storage drawers, so that all you can have is 1 stack total, right? So your stack limit should be 1 now. See, stack limit 1. How cool is that? So that was my idea. What we'll do is we'll say export living wood and living rock, and we're going to give you a crafting card, and we're going to say you. And now what's that going to do? Is that going to do 1 craft at a time? That's my concern. It's only going to do 1 craft at a time. So there's 2 things I can do here. We can make it so that we teach the cards to do 3 at a time, or 4 at a time, I mean. So that these guys, instead of saying 1 stone equals 1 living rock, we'd say 4 stone equals 4 living rock. So that every time it crafts, it always does a full set of 4. That's probably the best approach. So let me actually make that quick change. And then we're going to have to wrap up the episode, because, yeah, it's going to be that point. So let's take you guys. Going to put you away, and we're going to say 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, so we're going to say 4 equals 4. Check. And we're going to say 4 wood equals 4 of you. Check. Okay, so you've probably already crafted your 1 set of living wood and living rock, so that's there now. So see what happened? It made 4 at a time. And these guys are going to go into here. Nice. The other thing I can put on there is maybe a void upgrade. Well, I don't know if I want a void upgrade or not. So what should happen is that once this fills up, it will stop crafting. And what I would assume to happen is that any excess living wood and living rock that we get will wind up inside of our refined storage system. Right? So real quick to demonstrate this, you're already at that, right? So let's speed this up a little bit. Luckily, this is not necessary, so we can come down here. Cool. Neat. Speed this up. Nice. this is doing exactly what I would want to see it do, right? It's on-demand crafting living rock and living wood. Okay, now as soon as these drawers fill up, right, we're halfway there. So give it a sec, but yeah, halfway there. This won't take too long. Nobody tell Vasky I'm using the accelerator wand. Vasky would not be happy. So you're at 59 living rock, right? So what should happen is the next 2 iterations of this, right? This will bring me up to 63. And then it's going to say, I need a few more, right? So it'll place them. And what should happen now is that it should only request wood. It shouldn't request stone. See? It's not requesting the stone. Why? Because we've fulfilled our full stack limit, right? And we've got an extra 3 in here, right? Because we were at 59, then we went to 63. Then it said, all right, I need more to export into here. So what it did was, it made 4 more. 1 of them made it into the export bus, and the other 3 just get stuck in my system. Perfect, right? And the same exact thing is going to happen here right now. We've got 61. When these guys are done, right, it's going to... Shouldn't take too long. There we go. Make that 64. And then the extra 1 living wood is going to be in the system, right? Now, if I take a piece of this living rock, boom, it's going to refill it from the one that was in the storage drawers, right? Another one, another one. Now there's none left inside the refined storage system. So if I click on that, it's going to want to fulfill the request of having a full storage drawer, so it's going to craft 4 more living stone. How cool is that? It's working perfectly. All right, wrapping up point for the episode. Direwolf20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We will come back next time and do further automation with Botania. Next steps will probably be mana creation with Gormalaeses. All right, guys? For now, Direwolf20 signing off. Take it easy.